Our next guest is the founder and CEO of Tencent, China's largest internet portal and the company behind WeChat, a billion-user multi-purpose app which is like a mixture of WhatsApp, Google News, Uber, and Deliveroo. Posting $12.5 billion in profit last year. I'll just repeat that, $12.5 billion in profit last year. Tencent also has a stake in WeBank, China's first digital-only private bank, as well as international game developers. Its biggest game, Honor of Kings, has 70 million active users. And for the company's off-site retreat last year, our guest led his leadership committee on a two-day, 52-kilometer hike through the Gobi Desert to represent the culture of the company. Please join me in welcoming Pony Ma. So Pony and I will each take a moment to put on our translation devices, as I think people in the audience will want to, and then hope that we have them on the right channel. All right, let's see what I hear when I speak in English. I don't hear anything, so I think I've got it on the right channel. Okay. Pony, welcome to Fortune Global Forum, and thank you very much for being here.
谢谢Adam.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. That was my indication to turn my volume up. All right. My goal for our conversation is to give this room an understanding of how innovation works at Tencent, because there perhaps has been no more innovative company in the last decade than Tencent. And I thought I would start by asking you to tell the story of how WeChat came to be, especially given that it has such a strong connection to Guangzhou.
Okay, it has to go back to the end of 2010. It was 6 or 7 years ago. At that time, the internet was transitioning from a PC to mobile. That was a very critical time period. So the PC internet era did see a lot of mature products from our company, but we felt that the mobile internet age could be a totally different ecosystem. The cell phone started to get more and more popular. The very instant message QQ on the PC end was facing such a challenge as well. And we've already seen the trend from the global perspective, because from the mobile internet perspective, there will be a new platform to be created. That's why we decided that we need to embrace such a change, even though there will be some challenge against our own QQ platform. And there were 3 teams simultaneously developing WeChat together. The name of the 3 teams are the same. One is done by PC, the other is by mobile QQ team, and the third one is QQ Mailbox team, which is located in Guangzhou. So the Guangzhou team won because they've been working really hard for 1 month, and they won it. The overall final product makes WeChat look like an email system. If you establish a group chat, it's similar to the section function of the email system. You can CC to a lot of people. It basically is an email system for WeChat, but it is so quickly that you thought it is a messaging system. So it was internal competition result, because when you're facing a huge challenge, you cannot, when you don't know whether your team could finish this mission. At that time, you have to work really hard and challenge yourself, because when we were launching the products in the market, there were similar products in the market already. So QQ, as an older product of our company, we asked this QQ team to help the WeChat team. So we pushed all the users from QQ to WeChat. That was why it won the game.
Mark of a great company that is willing to not destroy the previous product, but to make a new product that will make things difficult for the old product, as you did with QQ. For example, Apple did this with the iPod when the iPhone came along. How do you articulate to the people on the QQ team, well, this new thing is coming along and it might be more important?
That is very important because the team of QQ knew it by themselves. They are destroying their own product. But it was not developed by them. It was developed by QQ Guangzhou team. But they knew that they are working for the same company. They got the same stock options, same stock shares. They're on the same boat. So they have to look at the future instead of looking at the interest of their own department. So it was easy for them to understand. We also give them a new mission to the QQ team, saying that you need to focus more on young people. The QQ team now are still developing the relations or developing the young students. For example, in the overseas market, there is a Snapchat. A lot of people are using that Snapchat. And there are different communities with different age groups. They have different demand, different requirements. For example, kids, they wouldn't like their parents to be in the same community with them, right? And they hope, they are in a peer their peers are in the same community, but not their parents. So they are very active in QQ, but in the moments when they put some pictures, it's different style.
Reminds me, we heard just last night at Brainstorm Tech International that some parents feel anxiety about WeChat because they're getting so many messages from their teachers, from their children's teachers. And first of all, I wonder if this anxiety concerns you, but I also think it shows to illustrate how widespread WeChat is in Chinese society now.
Yes, it is widely used now, the WeChat. A lot of teachers and parents are communicating through WeChat group and sometimes through QQ as well. But some information related to the kids, to the students, for example, major school events, all those will be recorded through the video or audio, video or picture form, and then they will be put on the WeChat so that students will their parents will understand what's going on. But there is some weakness as well. It drive people to use more frequently the cell phone. And I feel anxious because now I don't have my cell phone. I don't know what's going on now. And it's not good, actually. Too much attachment to the cell phone. You will feel anxious. Like if you don't bring your cell phone with you, you are not participating in some major event happening right now at this moment. And also another weakness is that you use too much of your eyes. So my eyes are getting even nearsighted. I was pretty stable in the past 20 years, but now my eyesight are getting worse. So that's something really bad. So I hope in the future, our next generation of communication platform could be better to the eyes. Shouldn't have such a. If there is a brainwave contacting my conscious, that would be the best.
Perhaps you're announcing in front of this audience where the next Tencent innovation will be. You have some control over this subject, no?
No. I'm too modest to say that. We're only providing the software and service. Each time there is a major change in an era, the major challenge is the hardware terminal, including the chips and hardware facilities, as well as the energy and power technology, battery technology, as well as the wearable camera, or, for example, the lights could be directly put into or projected into your eyes. So AR, similar to that of AR, when you are looking at this world, you could understand a lot, you could collect a lot of information from the internet.
Will WeChat be the platform for all of these types of innovations, or should we expect to see something completely different and separate?
对。我们其实
In this WeChat platform, the function of it is exceeding the instant message concept. At the very early beginning, online and offline worlds should be connected by a very simple way. So back in 2012, we thought QR code, even though it's a very traditional thing, but that was a very important element connecting online, offline worlds. So when we design when we are adding each other friends on WeChat, you scan the QR code. We made that design because so we made people think, okay, we need to use WeChat to scan the QR code of the others in order to add friends. So there are a lot of QR codes occurring in the market, and by using WeChat, you can connect it to that official account of that person or that business. So that's a very good tapping point. WeChat is transitioning from connecting people to people to service. And based on that, we also add WeChat payment. The mobile payment of WeChat has been very popular right now, offline wisely. And furthermore, in the future, in the past few years, we developed some mini programs. And that's why on this Fortune forum, there is a mini program. If you scan it, it is not a standardized QR. It is a sunflower-shaped, round-shaped mini program code. If you scan it, then it's a mini app. And it is an app, but you don't have to install it. And I think that's the future. If the computer world does not have apps anymore, but only there are some constantly floating codes. Then if I see you, then there will be a program connected to you. So I just use this program, and then I forget. I don't have to install it, right? If I see a cup, I see a switch or a screen or whatever, I could also use these concepts. Even though we don't have such a hardware facility, but we think we should start from WeChat to establish such a new eco environment. That's why there are a lot of offline business and companies that started to embrace such a trend by using this mini program as well as their official account to develop the application of their industry.
With facial recognition right now, and what will the future look like?
对，人脸识别现在都说它。
I think everyone is doing some facial recognition. I think we have really good advantage, or we have really big ability, and I think we can upload many pictures, especially a lot of Chinese faces, and I think we have a greater ability to let all Chinese to show their changes from their young faces to their older faces, and so you can predict what they will look, because they've been. So we can help them to find those missing child, and after 10 years, after 5 years, if you miss a child, we can predict them what they would look like and help them to find the missing child.
Let me start over. Will there be cash in China in 5 years, and what about in the rest of the world?
I think in mobile pay, we are doing a lot, and we are competing with Alibaba, and we've been competing for about past 3 years, and it can pay very rapidly, or you can say that it's limiting cash in China. And I know that Alipay is a lot stronger online, but offline WeChat is stronger. We began our red envelope in 2014, you may not know the envelope, the concept of lucky money, the red envelope. They did not understand red lucky money. I really don't know how to explain that, why it's developed in China. They think it's strange. But this is Chinese culture, especially in Canton. Every year during the Chinese Spring Festival, we gave people the lucky money. So for 9 years after the Spring Festival, the first thing we do is giving that lucky money. So we invented this electronic version of this, and you can open it, and you can and drop it in your group. And within this 3 years, it's over 800 million people are using this lucky money, and we opened this banking, and this is a big breakthrough. And so everywhere in China, you can see in parking lots or markets or temples or even beggar, they can use this. You can say, I don't have cash, but they can use this. They can just scan it. This is widespread. And we cannot say that cash will be eliminated. Cash is just digitized. You won't see fake currencies, and you don't see changes. Maybe maybe when you are small, like a street vendor, you don't have to find changes for that person, and then when you buy something at a little market, you can just scan, and then you can see how much they receive. You just need to a QR code and just scan it and just do it. That easy.
Tencent is a very big collector of data about all of its users. What is your vision for how that data will be used in the future?
我觉得大量的数据
I think this big data will exist in many different industries. And after they embraced the internet, it's not only for us. I think we are using this big data with in the communication area. We think security is important, and privacy is also very important. And I think in the cloud computing, we have to use AI to process this big data. But then we have to be very careful, because hackers or abuse can be beyond our imagination. This is our concern, and we have to invest in security so that we can protect the users' privacy and security.
Many executives in this room who come from traditional industries, non-digital first industries, describe to them, please, your ambition to help them connect to the digital world.
对。
We talk about this a lot for the past year. We found out that the third industry, the service industry, they embrace the internet, they embrace the technology, no matter whether it's financial sector, they are using WeChat and then pay, and that's connected. And the insurance and stock market, they're all using all that. They are all using, they're all growing rapidly. But you can see that there's P2P, and then we can see some problematic things in there that we have to manage. And there are other service industry, travel or transportation, especially in China. You see that share rides like Didi or Uber, or share bikes, and also 交通码. And then you see that in many public transportations, you can use a QR code, and you can see that in mobility industry, they are using that. And then there's the second industry, that's the manufacturing industry. You know that China is a big manufacturing country. So they realize that they need to use the internet to enhance or to enhance their money making. In the past, manufacturing industry, after they make that product, they need to go through many processes to go to the end user. But at the end, or in the future, they can connect this. They don't need to have this process or middleman. So that's a big change. And especially heavy industry. We have a Sanyi heavy industry. They have tractor, they have big machineries, and they try to work with us. They want to make their manufacturing industry become a service industry. They want to rent or they want to lease their equipments, and they can connect all these heavy equipments, and then once they create an account, and then you can borrow it, and you can make maintenance and everything, so that they become a service industry, and they can use this chain of service, and then it become a banking industry. So you can see that it was impossible in the beginning, but then by using the internet, they can become a connected industry. I think in the late future, we can see that agriculture industry is maybe they are leasing out their land. They can have somebody to manage your land. And this is not, right now, it's not realized, but I think in the future, you can use internet to realize that dream.
Come to the audience in a moment. I have to ask you, you mentioned Alibaba a moment ago. This morning, Jack Ma said that that you deserve his respect and his praise, and so I'll ask you in return your thoughts about Alibaba and Jack Ma, who, by the way, you are not related to.
No, we're not related. We're not related at all. I've known Jack Ma for many years, and when we were a very, very small company, there were 3 big companies in the past, but then we were very small companies in the past, and we were in separate fields, and we were competing, and then we obtained the market share. But some people say we are competing with each other. But I'm saying that, there are many people are competing with us too, and I think reasonable competition is promoting growth. So you see that. So when you see number 1 and number 2 are competing, number 3 and number 4 are gone, because you can see that you get that fighting spirit. You will make your potential become a reality. And under competition, everybody would work together, and they become hard workers too. So I think this is very important. But there's a bad thing about it. There's so many competition. Or I think there's just too much, oh, we have to compete in this. Oh, wow, that really makes me confused. So I think we want to be more open. And for the past 5-6 years, our policy is that we only do 1.5. We do communication, and then and the second one is digital content. And the half business is that it means that it's not mature yet. That means we are not ready for this one yet. We're not ready for this one. The other half, no, we need our cooperation in this ecosystem, no matter whether it's fintech or transportation, mobility, or e-commerce, all that. We're not doing that. We let our ecosystem cooperating partners to do it, because we are doing so much, and we want our team we tell them not to compete with them. We help them we are supporting them. So we are. I think I think Jack Ma talked about supporting, but I think there's a difference between us and Jack Ma. I think at the end, when you support something, the supported one feel secure. If all my channels are in your hands, I think my destiny is in your hands, and your profit is in your hands. And in one word, I can take away your property, but we need to.
We need to decentralize the empowering, so we will make the empowered feel safe, even though we are empowering you. So we let you to, for example, build this building, and it will belong to you. Your fans, your customers are yours. You don't have to pay the monthly rental, and you don't have to worry about the monthly increase, annual increase. So I hope you understand what I said, what I'm saying. 我理解.
The room does too. We have time for one question, perhaps. Who would like to ask it? I'm looking for hands. Back there, please. Yes. Please identify yourself.
我叫王文祥，
My name is Wang Wenxiang. I'm from Taishu Jiye. So I'd like to ask Pony, what is your value proposition personally? And so Tencent's business is based on your own value proposition? Thank you. Thank you, it is. So the several founders, including me, as well as those senior managers, as well as investors, we align our interests, our value propositions together. So integrity, you have to be honest, you have to be upright and person. So if you have this integrity issue, whoever you are, however capable you are, we will not use you. Secondly, we respect our investors. So when I get the first investment at the first day, I will promise that I will not let them down. We will do our best. So that's why you could see that most of our business put one place. We will not just spin off or doing the separation of different business, which will confuse the investors, where there will be might be some loophole. We don't do that. So when we're investing in other companies, we are so afraid that might be something hidden. We really would see that you can put everything together so that I can see it and I trust you. If you do have some other, leeways left or some hidden dark areas, maybe you are not doing something bad, but that will make you do something bad in the future. So investors understand and welcome such a value proposition, and also respect this contract, spirit of contract. Whatever you say, so long as we just sign the contract, we need to implement this spirit. So that's the value proposition of ours.
Quick question. I'm looking. Okay. No, back there, please. Okay, please.
我是青藤大学的学员啊。
Qingteng University, so I also invested in Tencent. I also got the first championship award in a contest organized by Tencent. So, what do you think will be the next major industry or sector? Is it education or property? What is your strategy on AI? Because our work is AI plus education. That's why I would like to ask you these two questions. I believe for the next round of major market will be in the education sector, and the total size it might be 15 billion US dollars. But there's still a huge potential for the education market to develop, because with people's salary going up, people will attach more and more importance to the kids' education. So I believe the market in the future could be several hundred billion US dollars. And so is medical market. It could be even several hundred and 1,000 billion market. So that's why we're trying to bet different areas. We invested 7 to 8 internet medical related companies. We don't know which one will win, but we think that will be the future, especially those related to AI medical companies. That's our focus or interest. So in the chess, we have this fine art chess game, which verified that if you have some AI capability, and we are investing in the AI medical imaging industries. And also, we're doing some R&D in that area. So we were doubting whether the AI could be beating the doctors reading this medical images. And now, according to our research, we discovered that they could be even better, the AI machines. So in the future, the AI will do the CT or MTR or some other images, for example, auto-scanning the gastric images of yours. And there will be large volume of imaging to be done. But if you only depend on human being, it is not possible. So there will be huge demand in the market. And we're trying to work with the hospitals to successfully. Now we're trying to help the hospital to successfully find, by AI scanning, some cancer cases that the doctors might miss in the past. So we're still developing the other medical supporting or auxiliary diagnosis devices. So that medical area would be a very important area as well, and is related to everybody. So in the future, the content as well as gaming AI will do further research in those two areas.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing your vision with us. Congratulations on your success, and you are welcome back on a Fortune stage anytime you would like to come. Thank you.
好，谢谢。
谢谢。